We are going to start with that breaking news about First Republic Bank sold to JPMorgan Chase overnight in a bid to avert a banking crisis in this country. It's the second largest U.S. bank collapse ever, following Washington Mutual back in 2008 during the financial crisis. So what does it mean if you're heading to a branch this morning? NBC's Brian Cheung here with some answers and more on this breaking story. So, Brian, let's just start with the top-line takeaways from this deal. It would seem to be good news for consumers.
Yeah, it is, because essentially what happened is that over the weekend, they were able to find a resolution so that this bank could survive and make it to market open today on this Monday. So we got the news overnight that the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation was going to step in to take ownership of First Republic Bank, which had been struggling for essentially the last few weeks, ever since Silicon Valley Bank went under. And they're also going to simultaneously sell the assets to JPMorgan Chase. So JPMorgan Chase, the nation's largest bank, now going to be the owner of First Republic. So any First Republic branches will be opening up this morning as Chase branches. For what's worth, JPMorgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon saying our government invited us and others to step up, and we did almost 2 months after the turmoil that we saw with Silicon Valley Bank.
So then with that said, what does that mean now for First Republic customers watching this morning?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, they are now Chase customers effective this morning. That means that there's continuity here. And that's what the government wanted to do when they tried to scramble over the weekend to try to not only take ownership of this bank, but then find another bank to buy the assets up. You'll recall that with Silicon Valley Bank, there were concerns after they closed it that depositors that had more money than the $250,000 federal guarantee might not have that money insured. The government had to step in, say we're going to ensure that all of those deposits are safe. In this case, they don't have to do that because they were able to sell it to another bank where there's just the continuity of this morning, all those First Republic customers now being Chase customers.
Are we out of the woods now? Do we think that the purchase of First Republic means that we're okay for a while at least?
Yeah, well, the challenge is that we kind of thought that was the case a few weeks after Silicon Valley Bank, which, by the way, was the second largest bank failure before this First Republic news this morning. So it shows that we're not quite out of the woods yet, but I want to emphasize that the deposit outflows that we saw from First Republic Bank, where they lost about 40% of their deposits in just the first few months of this year, that isn't the case and not happening at other banks. And again, as a reminder, your money is safe up to $250,000 at FDIC-insured banks.
Our business reporter Brian Cheung starting us off. Brian, thank you.
Brian.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.